I can't believe I am saying this in the big 25, but it looks like we are officially getting another Lego Batman game. And boy oh boy, has it been some time since we've gotten one of these games, because DC as a whole, in terms of their gaming department, has sucked ass within the past 5 years. Nothing good has come from this company, or DC Studios, if you want to even call them that anymore, because I don't really give a fuck what they're called. The point being, they haven't dropped any good quality shit in terms of their gaming department, and this looks to be the exception to that, because hey, it's time to bring out Lego Batman, a game that everybody loves. It's critically acclaimed. I loved Lego Batman games growing up. Lego Batman 2 was my favorite, and I'm glad people are coming around to fully realizing that Lego Batman 2 is probably the best Lego Batman game out of the 3 or 4 games. I know the fourth one was Lego DC Supervillains, but I think we you get the idea. But yes, long story short, we have another Batman game. It's called Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, and this basically just looks like Lego Batman Arkham, because we haven't gotten a Batman Arkham game, or at least one on console, in some time. It's been 10 years since we've gotten a Arkham game, and Lego has to step in and basically get behind the wheel and drive the video game industry forward, because nobody else is really doing it like this right here, Lego Batman. Because honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, I heard the rumors that Gamescom was gonna showcase Lego Batman. I figured they were gonna show a trailer. I was not expecting them to have gameplay at the convention itself, or Gamescom itself. And when I heard about the rumors, I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be the only interesting thing aside from Resident Evil Requiem and all that shit. But yeah, I saw the rumors, and of course we get this reveal of Lego Batman. And before I even get into my overall thoughts on the trailer and some of the gameplay we've gotten and a lot of the news pertaining to Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, and I have to address the elephant in the room here, and it's not really with Lego Batman itself. I mean, it kind of has to do with it, but it's mainly about Gamescom itself, the entire showcase, and it's the fact that shit was underwhelming as fuck. Okay, it was underwhelming. Most of the games I'm not even into that shit. And also, this is gonna be a hot take from yours truly. I don't give a fuck about the Fallout series. I never have. I probably never will. The only intriguing thing about Fallout was New Vegas. That's probably the most interesting one out of the franchise, and everything else I just don't care for. I never got into that game, and I especially don't give a fuck about the TV show, because I mean, you look at the writing, or you listen to the writing and the dialogue for the show. It's the most millennial slop, most bullshit you will ever hear in your life, and the sad part is people eat that shit up. People eat it up, and they claim that that's good. This is a great video game adaptation. It's no, please stop cooking. Don't ever cook again. But no, I know it's funny how I'm mentioning a TV show apart from a video game, because it's that's the state of where we're at. We're showcasing TV shows and movies at fucking gaming conventions, or game showcases. But despite the Fallout Season 2 show, or whatever the fuck it is, everything else I didn't really care too much for. I do think it's kind of cool that the Black Wukong myth or whatever is already getting a sequel a year after its release. I think that's kind of cool, and it kind of just shows that a lot of gaming companies or developers are starting to get a lot faster with producing sequels to games, because I didn't think we were ever going to get past that. I thought everything was going to take 3 to 5 years to make a sequel to a game that everyone likes. But no, it looks like we're getting that a lot faster than we thought. And there were other games, I honestly couldn't tell you anything else, or anything that I cared about, because it didn't appeal to me one bit. And I know I'm one person, I have different tastes and whatnot. And you may have liked some of the games that they showcased, but I just didn't care for it. I thought it was underwhelming as fuck. Lego Batman was the saving grace, and honestly, I think it's probably gonna be the only saving grace going into next year for gaming in its entirety, because I don't really see anything living up to Lego Batman, or the hype to Lego Batman, other than say GTA 6. But that's assuming it doesn't get another delay. And to finally conclude my point on the whole Gamescom thing, I think the only interesting thing I saw from the convention, even though I thought this part was underwhelming, was the Resident Evil gameplay footage, or the trailer they showed, and then they showcased some gameplay afterwards. I was a little bit underwhelmed. Yes, I'm still intrigued by it. I'm gonna get it day one for sure, but I don't know. The editing was very choppy. They were taking out a lot of moments that were very spoilerific. I don't even think that's a word, but you get the idea. But yeah, it was just the editing was very choppy. The gameplay was all over the place, or kind of the lack thereof, because the footage they showed initially, there was maybe 10 seconds of gameplay, and that was it. And then you see like some scary shit to basically give you the horror vibe that they're going for with Resident Evil. But yeah, everything else outside of Lego Batman and Resident Evil, or even the new Halloween game coming out next year, minus the Dr. Loomis voiceover, like holy shit, that was rough. Gamescom just sucked. I wish they'd get rid of Jeff Keighley as the host, or just whoever's like managing this shit, like how they go about showcasing these games. They need to be fired. There needs to be like a complete revamp, a reboot for Gamescom or just gaming conventions in general, because this shit is just so low energy and it just fucking sucks. But outside of that, that's going to conclude my Gamescom rant, my little side rant, and it's time to get into the video itself, the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight video, the one thing you came here for. Now, despite my negativity that I kind of yapped over at the beginning of this video, I have nothing but positive things to say for Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And the presentation alone from the trailer, it has me hooked in. Like, this is a day one purchase from yours truly, because this brought back so many memories, and like, I mean memories galore, from Batman media, all the way down to the movies, the video games, and the comics, especially, most importantly, the comics. Because like, you look at this, like, you can tell this is a passion project. You can tell the developers really put a lot of care into this product alone. They really care about what the fans want, or like, you know, what the fans really want right now in this like shitty climate of gaming altogether. Because like, I can't tell you the last time like I was really into a video game like Lego Batman, especially like back in the day when I was a kid, and probably for many other kids back in the day. And I know the Lego games especially are something unique for a lot of people that played them when they were at a very young age, but Lego Batman it brings out something in our inner child. Like, this is the one game where it's like, you really were the Batman. And I know that was like a tagline for our Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight was like, be the Batman. But it's like, with this game, I've heard a lot of talk about people wanting to go back to 2016 or have that like youthful 2016 energy when they were like a teenager. And I think with this game, it's like, not only can you be the Batman, but you can be that like inner teenage self. You can be the teenager that you want to be, especially at an older age. And this game is just revitalizing that just youthfulness that everyone had when playing Lego games, especially Lego Batman. Like, this game altogether just looks like the perfect childhood-like game that we could have gotten. You know, because I wish I had a game like this growing up, like where you have a culmination of everything Batman, especially the movies. Like, I would have loved to see like a recreation of like the dark scenes from the Dark Knight, or even just the Dark Knight trilogy when the first Lego Batman came out. I don't know, like when the first Lego Batman came out, it was you had the two movies from Christopher Nolan, because Dark Knight Rises hadn't come out yet. But despite that, I would have really loved to have seen a game like this when I was a kid. And we're finally getting something like that. And not only is it just incorporating movies, but it's taken inspiration from a lot of different iterations of Batman. And because you can see it down from the Keaton era, the Bale era, and I'm actually going to throw in the Affleck era, because I was looking at Alfred in the trailer and some of the gameplay, or actually not just gameplay, but just the trailer itself. And he kind of looks like Jeremy Irons, with like a hybrid of the actor that played Alfred in Batman 89 all the way up to Batman and Robin from 1997. It looks like a hybrid of those two versions. And I know we didn't get a whole lot of Batfleck callbacks in the trailer like a lot of the other actors got, or other actors that have portrayed Batman, but I did hear that Ben Affleck's, or the Batfleck Batmobile, is going to be in the game, and I'm sure his suit's going to be in the game as well, because there's going to be like 35 Bat suits. That's like a culmination of the movies, the games, and the comics. But I definitely think Batfleck will be in the game in some way, and I'm sure they'll do like a take on the warehouse scene, that iconic warehouse scene that nobody has beaten to this day, especially the fight choreography for that scene. Nobody has beaten that shit, movie-wise. Now, gaming-wise, of course, our Arkham clears, but in terms of movies and Batman choreography, Batman vs. Superman clears, hands down. But despite all that, we do get a lot of callbacks to the other movies, especially with the different suits that Batman is wearing in this game, and he's going to wear throughout the entire story campaign, if you want to call it that. We see the Pattinson suit, the Dark Knight suit, and the Michael Keaton suit, and probably plenty of other suits. But to kind of talk about the story itself, or for what we've heard about the story details with this game is basically an original story that implements elements from the movies, the games, and the comics. I know I keep saying that, but that's just a point that I'm going to have to keep reiterating, because that's what this game is. It's a culmination of everything that everybody loves about Batman. It's a love letter to Batman, and more importantly, Lego Batman. But the story itself is going to be original, and it's going to take us from Batman Batman's origin all the way up to his legendary status as the Batman. And we're going to get to see the rise of his rogues gallery and his sidekicks like Robin, Batgirl, and even Nightwing. And yes, pertaining to Nightwing, or more importantly, Dick Grayson, when he starts out as Robin, we are going to get an iteration of the Dick Grayson storyline, or the Flying Grayson storyline, where his parents get killed off. And Bruce Wayne literally takes him under his wing and trains him to be Robin, which he'll then become Nightwing later on, especially in this game. And I'm curious as to who the Robin is going to be other than Dick Grayson. Is it going to be Tim Drake? Or I know Jason Todd came first before Tim Drake, but I'm wondering which Robin it's going to be. They might do Damian Wayne because he's like the most recent Robin that gets utilized a lot in like the comics and animated shows. And it also turns out that beyond the sidekicks, we are going to get to play as Catwoman and Talia al Ghul, which I find very interesting. That's certainly a choice. And we're also going to get to play as Commissioner Gordon. And with all those characters that I've mentioned, those are the 7 playable characters we got from Batman all the way to Talia al Ghul. Those are our 7 characters that we're going to get to play in the game, and it looks like this is going to be a game that's going to feature a smaller roster compared to other LEGO games, which is, again, certainly a choice. But if it's, if the developers can take time to, invest in their abilities and make them unique from each of the 7 characters, then I'm here for it. I'm sure they'll pull it off, and I'm sure they're going to add more characters down the line, especially DLC. But honestly, with like the lack of characters or like a smaller roster, I hope this is more of a focus on quality rather than quantity to basically justify it with that sort of approach. And it also looks like we're going to get specific vehicles per character. I think Batman's going to have a lot of Batmobiles, of course, because he's had so many Batmobiles throughout Batman history. But a lot of the other characters like Commissioner Gordon, Catwoman, and even Robin, they're going to get their own sort of vehicles that they can choose from in the open world aspect of the game. And speaking of the open world, dude, I've heard that this is going to be bigger than Arkham Knight, and it's kind of funny because the whole open world looks like the exact layout of Arkham Knight, like down to the architecture and all the different bridges that bridge the different Gotham Islands together. And I think that's so cool. Like, I'm not even complaining that they may have taken some assets from Arkham Knight, or maybe they've taken some inspiration from the Arkham Knight open world map. And you actually see within the free roam gameplay footage with this person driving the Batmobile, it's very reminiscent of how Arkham Knight's Batmobile traverses around the city, and even the roads are big enough. Like, there's some areas on the map where like some alleys are very small, but overall like the roads are big enough to like basically drift. I think you can drift in this game. But the guy that was driving this vehicle in the game, like, I don't know if the gameplay just doesn't offer you the ability to use the handbrake to drift, or maybe this guy just didn't know what the fuck he was doing. But I noticed he like was trying to drift, and like it was just braking, like when he was cutting turns or like cutting corners. I was like, okay, either we don't know how to handbrake, or you just simply don't have that option as of like this pre-alpha gameplay footage. And just to clarify, I'm not necessarily shitting on the guy that was recording the gameplay footage or whatever. I actually watched this guy's stuff. Like, I think it's MK versus Icefire. That's where this gameplay footage is coming from. I like watching his stuff, like getting all that sort of gameplay, get some insights and whatnot. But I couldn't help but notice that. I was like, okay, what's with the handbraking or like the drifting? And that's really just like a side tangent. It's not that big of a deal, but I noticed that, and I was like, okay, please tell me we're going to be able to drift around the city and not just like awkwardly hit the brake and then cut corners like in the most awkward way possible. Because I mean, the gameplay itself, like driving vehicles in this game, it looks very satisfying, and it looks like it's using the same exact mechanics from Arkham Knight. But yeah, like I definitely want to drive all the different Batmobiles from the Burton-verse all the way to the Reeves-verse with Pattinson's Batman. I do like that Batmobile, even though I wouldn't really call it a Batmobile. It's just a Charger, or a Challenger, I should say. But yeah, I definitely want to try out all the different vehicles and all the vehicle types. And the way like you summon the vehicles, it looks very reminiscent to that of Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, like how you could basically just bring in anything and it would like automatically build it. And I think you could do the same thing in Lego DC Supervillains, like when you could spawn in vehicles, like you didn't have to go to a special station to summon a vehicle or spawn in a vehicle. Like you could just access it from the menu, and it just reconstructs the vehicle right in front of you. And to conclude this overall section of just the open world gameplay, the traversal with like the bat gliding and whatnot, like that looks very smooth, especially with Commissioner Gordon's like little parachute, or not necessarily parachute, but he's got his own little glider. It runs very smoothly. I'm looking forward to trying out all the different characters and their traversal mechanics, because I'm sure they went all out with the different traversal mechanics, and especially the grapnel boost that you see in the Arkham games. It's also being used in this Lego game. It looks very smooth, looks just as good as it does in the Arkham games. And then like you can boost, like once you hit the grapnel point, or like you launch yourself up to a building, you can launch yourself upwards and like boost off and just glide around the city. It looks awesome. I can't wait to do that. It looks so satisfying with the gameplay footage. And I can't wait to see how other characters traverse, like I said before. And lastly, I'll make one final comparison to the Arkham games. It looks like each of the characters are going to have an upgrading system where you can basically upgrade skills and upgrade your tech that you use to fight against enemies and traverse around the city. It looks like they're bringing that and making this Lego game a lot more special than earlier Lego Batman installments. This game looks like it's doing all the right things that it needs to do, and it also looks like we're gonna have enough to do within the open world. Not only are we gonna have like a lot of story missions that are pretty lengthy, but we're also gonna have a lot of side content, a lot of side quests to do, like Riddler challenges. I know Riddler challenges are back, and I'm sure there's gonna be other side missions and collectibles we will have to basically garner up to reach that 100% that we all love to do with Lego games. I can't wait to do it with this one. I'm definitely going to do it with this one. I didn't really care to do it with Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga because that game was just so bloated and very underwhelming. I didn't really feel the need to 100% that game. But this one, I'm definitely going to 100%, and it's going to be fun to explore Gotham City in its entirety, and especially considering that it's going to be a lot larger than Arkham Knight's map. And that map was pretty big, but if this is like going to be a lot bigger, like in terms of the scale, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to explore this version of Gotham City. And I certainly can't wait to play through the entire story of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, because I think it's going to be really cool to see Batman's origin story in Lego form all the way up to his legendary status. And I'm actually curious if they're going to go the route of this is basically a prequel to the Lego Batman games, like all of the Lego Batman games, like Lego Batman 1 to Lego Batman 3, that sort of Lego canon. I want to see if it's going to connect to that or if it's just like entirely in its own universe. I think that'll be interesting to see, and hopefully we'll get an answer to my overall question pertaining to that sort of canon. But even if it's not, this game looks great. Can't wait to play it. And I certainly can't wait to see all the many surprises this game has in store for us, down to the Easter eggs, all the way to paying homage to different versions of Batman through comics, TV shows, video games, and movies. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for my overall take on the trailer and the gameplay footage we got. I'm really happy with what I've seen so far and can't wait to see more of this game. And I'm just happy to be excited for a video game in general, because I haven't really been excited for a game like this in quite some time. And like I've been excited for other games before, but they've been kind of underwhelming, like Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Like that was the last Lego game I played. And dude, that shit sucked so hard. Like it had a lot of good intentions. Like I liked how big it was in terms of like visiting all the different planets and whatnot. But the missions, dude, that just, oh, what an embarrassment. Like the missions were so short and just like it honestly wasn't worth it. Like I just felt like I was rushing through everything. I wasn't really having a good time like I was hoping for. But I think this game is gonna basically be the redemption for Lego games. I think they've really hit it out the ballpark with this one. They've put a lot of effort and time into this Lego Batman, or this world of Lego Batman, and with all the different characters and the open world, and just having longer levels. Like that's really all I care for. I just hope that, you know, this is truly a passion project and that passionate people worked on this game. And by the looks of it, I think that's the case. But one final thing I actually do want to mention is some of the things I just didn't really care too much for, and that was the voice acting. I think that was probably my major hiccup with this trailer, was the voice acting. Even the Bane voice acting from Matt Berry, I thought that was kind of cringe, but I kind of get what they're going for. I understand why they want to go with a different voice actor for a character like Batman, because apparently this guy has range or whatever from like making himself sound younger, and then, you know, he's able to make himself sound a lot older to basically reflect how evolved Batman is within this story. Like from that perspective, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, why not bring Troy Baker back for Lego Batman? Like he was the perfect Lego Batman voice for this franchise. Like, I mean, he was just perfect as is. There was really no reason to change it. And then the lack of Batfleck representation with the trailer, I thought that was kind of telling, and it just kind of made me think, Warner Brothers is not beating the allegations with trying to erase anything Snyderverse related or DCEU related. I know, because Snyderverse and DCEU are the Justice Verse. Those are two separate things. But despite that, my minor hiccup with that overall aspect, there's a lot to like. I think the pros outweigh the cons with this trailer and the gameplay footage. And I like I said earlier in the video, I think we are going to get the Batfleck suit and probably some little nods to Batman vs Superman especially. But that was just something I didn't care too much for with the trailer presentation. That was my one major gripe, was the lack of Batfleck representation. But despite all that, yeah, this game looks great. I don't have anything really negative to say other than the fact that we are still in the year 2025 and we have a LEGO game that does not have online multiplayer, or in other words, online co-op. I'm not necessarily asking for a live service multiplayer game. That's not what I'm asking for. What I'm asking for is I want to be able to invite my PlayStation friends to play with me on a LEGO game instead of having to do the pseudo coach co-op or whatever with like the PlayStation Share. But no, I really want them to add online co-op. I'm so sick of doing the local couch co-op, whatever they call it. Like, that's just, dude, everyone has Wi-Fi, everyone has an internet connection. Let me play online with my friends, okay? Just let me play online. But in all seriousness, folks, that's going to do it for the cons with this overall LEGO Batman game, because I just really don't have much, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But now, I'm going to kick it off to you guys. What are you looking forward to about LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight? Are you actually looking forward to this game? And if so, what are some aspects that you're looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the story, the characters, the open world? What are you looking forward to? I really want to know in the comments below. And most importantly, do you think Terry McGinnis, aka Batman Beyond, will make an appearance in this game? Do you think he'll be an unlockable, or do you think he'll be DLC? Because if they don't do either of those things, then this game is a certified flop. But no, seriously, how can you have a Batman game, especially a LEGO Batman game, that's a culmination of everything Batman, including his history, and not include Terry McGinnis? Like, I just don't see how that's possible. But you know what? Stranger things have happened, and a lot of things have surprised me and disappointed me at the same time. But I think these guys, they seem very passionate, the developers, that is, and I think they'll do the right thing and add Terry McGinnis to the game in some form or fashion. But to finally move on from Terry McGinnis or bonus characters, the most important question I should ask, or questions, is what suits do you want to see in the game, especially Bat suits or Robin suits or even Catwoman suits, or any playable character suits? What would you like to see, and what kind of Batmobile do you hope to see in this game? Because I've heard a lot of the Batmobiles, the developers said that all the Batmobiles are going to be in the game, but I don't know how true that is. Maybe all the movie versions and maybe animated versions. But if, let's say that's the case, what Batmobile are you most looking forward to driving in? For me, it's going to be the Batman vs Superman Batmobile, or even the animated series Batmobile. One of those two I'll be happy traversing through in Gotham City. And I'm also hoping they add the Batwing to the game, because I definitely want to fly around in Gotham City in the Batwing, or anything Batwing related. And I'm sure they'll add like the Batcopter or even the Robin Copter from like LEGO Batman 2. I'm really hoping they'll make a lot of nods and references to the previous LEGO games vehicle-wise, but only time will tell. But that's going to do it, folks. I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comments below, whether you're excited for this game, whether you're not, and whether this is going to wake up your inner childhood. But with all that being said, folks, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked what you saw today, go ahead, drop a like on this video, and subscribe to the channel, because you are not going to want to miss out on this certified banger content. But that's going to do it for today, folks. I hope to catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.